Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with a breaking news alert. Students are being bused home early in Morris, Minnesota after a bomb threat was made at the school. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. This morning, students were sent to a gym at the University of Minnesota Morris while authorities searched the high school. The superintendent says the threat was written on a whiteboard in the school. Students were then sent home while police are working to learn more about that threat. Morris is just south of Elbow Lake and west of Alexandria. New for you at noon, one man is sitting in jail after a bizarre incident at Perkins in Fargo where police say he tried to run over an officer and a restaurant employee. Police were called to the Perkins in South Fargo around 3 this morning, where employees said this guy was assaulting other people at the restaurant. When police arrived, 21-year-old Tin Nguyen got in his car and drove at the officer and the restaurant employee. Nguyen was eventually arrested and put in jail on multiple pending charges, including assault and DUI. No one was seriously hurt. We're learning new information about the substation explosion in East Grand Forks that knocked out power to the city. Now here is video from a viewer. The explosion happened around 9 o'clock last night at the substation along Highway 2, and that's when the lights went dark. It disrupted a school hockey game at the Civic Center then. Street lights and traffic lights were out at that time as well, creating a hazard for drivers. Power was eventually restored a few hours later. The cause of this explosion is still under investigation. Now we'll have more on this tonight on Valley News Live at 5. Also new for you at noon today, dive teams are working to get a tractor out of Detroit Lake after it fell through the ice. Now you can see just the back end of it sticking out of the water there. The Becker County Sheriff says it fell through yesterday while people were trying to clear a path for a snowmobile race this weekend. No one was on the tractor when it went through, and it's a reminder to be safe when out on the ice. Light snow out there today, and it's making for some slick conditions. The North Dakota Highway Patrol has reported multiple crashes south of the metro on I-29. So when can we expect this to let up, and what are conditions like right now in the region? Here's meteorologist Lisa Green with more.
Well, good afternoon. We're seeing signs of it easing up out west, but we're kind of still in the thick of it here in Fargo and Moorhead and other places in parts of the valley. The system overall is shifting to the east. So if you're in the Highway 281 corridor, it's starting to wind down for you, but anywhere east of there, still dealing with the potential for some scattered light snow showers. So zooming in on the Cass and Clay County area, you could see Fargo, Moorhead right underneath some snow showers at the moment. It does look like we're about to get into a little bit of a lull, a little break from this, but just keep in mind there's more potential for some snow in the southern valley, and not only there, stretching back into Lakes country. And up north we have just a few flakes, not as intense as what we're looking at in the south at this point in time. Though up by Winnipeg we're looking at some snow there that may be dipping into the Lake of the Woods area a little later. Our temperatures are into the 20s. It's pretty mild for this time of year. 26 in Fargo, 27 in Grand Forks, and a look at your hourly planner. We got a couple of hours here where we're still looking at that potential for some snow, and then things do start to quiet down. So we'll talk more about that and what we can expect for the weekend ahead too, coming up in just a bit.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. A Jamestown business owner is surveying the damage today after their roof collapsed under the weight of heavy snow. The owner of Electronic Doctors says he showed up this morning to this, the building destroyed. He says everything inside is damaged. The owner tells us he noticed the windows were under a bit of stress when he left work yesterday. No one was injured. People in Duluth could be in for a mess if snowplow drivers there go on strike. Plow drivers in St. Louis County have filed a notice to strike if negotiations for a new labor agreement continue to break down. Plow drivers and other public works employees could walk out after a 10-day cooling off period after mediation. A strike would come at a time when Duluth experienced its third snowiest calendar year on record. In our Healthier Me this afternoon, more people are sick with the flu in North Dakota compared to this time last year. This season, there have already been 1,989 identified cases of influenza, mostly for people younger than 10. At this time last year, there were only 750 cases. Officials are encouraging people to get the flu shot to help protect themselves from the sickness. In North Dakota, only 47% of kids from 6 months to 4 years old are currently vaccinated. Let's take a look now at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 34-year-old Ryan Forney is wanted for failure to register as a sex offender. Now call your local law enforcement if you have any information about him. Iran's top general is dead after a dramatic airstrike at Baghdad's airport under direct orders from President Donald Trump. Hallie Jackson has more.
Lawmakers this morning are demanding more details from the president about the U.S. airstrike that killed a top Iranian commander in Iraq, with rising concerns about escalating tensions. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi declaring the strike, ordered by the president and resulting in the death of a top Iranian general, lacked authorization, and demanding the Trump administration immediately brief lawmakers, releasing a statement warning tonight's airstrike risks provoking further dangerous escalation of violence, adding the full Congress must be immediately briefed on the serious situation and on the next steps under consideration by the administration. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff adding Congress didn't authorize and American people don't want a war with Iran. All steps must now be taken to protect our forces against the almost inevitable escalation and increased risk. Several Republicans echoing that call for congressional consultation, including Senator Mitt Romney, who urged the administration to pursue a coherent strategy and promising to press for additional details. Overall, reaction was mostly split down party lines, with the president's allies praising the move. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy tweeting Soleimani was a terrorist. President Trump and our brave service members just reminded Iran and the world that we will not let attacks against Americans go unpunished. Senator Tom Cotton tweeting Soleimani got what he richly deserved, and all those American soldiers who died by his hand also got what they deserved, justice. On the campaign trail, 2020 Democrats slamming the president. Senator Elizabeth Warren calling the move reckless. Senator Bernie Sanders warning of dangerous escalation. And former Vice President Joe Biden writing, no American will mourn Soleimani's passing, but President Trump just tossed a stick of dynamite into a tinderbox, and he owes the American people an explanation of the strategy and plan.
The State Department is issuing a new warning for all Americans to leave Iraq immediately following what is expected to be a dramatic escalation of tensions. And this tension in the Middle East means you could pay more at the pump. Oil prices soared after Iran's top military commander was killed, as we mentioned. The AAA fuel gauge survey shows the national average price of a regular gasoline is about $2.58 a gallon. That's 3 cents higher than just 1 week ago, and up an average of 33 cents from 1 year ago.